So it's not news that a lot of children get sexually abused by the domestic help. That's the nanny, the house girl, chef. Different people have different terms for the helps. They are living helps or helps that come to visit and things like that. So it's not news that a lot of sexual abuse issues go on, and not just male house helps abusing female children, also and more rampantly, female house helps sexually molesting young boys. So this is it's something I've talked about over and over again. So how do we create those healthy boundaries between our domestic staff and our children? That is what we're going to be discussing today. So my first point is, a lot of people say, I'm going to do background check. I'm going to go to this agent. This is the best agent. They know the grandfather and the great grandfather of the house help. Yeah, it's good to do background checks. But the other thing is, agencies in Nigeria are not honest. Most of them are in it for the money. So they just get one girl. They quickly find out, who's your father? Who's your grandfather? They write it down. They present it to you, the client. So please don't be too trusting on agencies and say, because this is a premium agent, then this person must be good. An agent is one thing and the individual is another person. So please, let's take note. The second point, which is the most essential point, and I hope you have your notepad and your pens and you're writing this. When you hire the help, please state your rules and regulations in front of your child, right? There are certain rules that your child needs to see you making to the help. And one of those, there are different things. And remember, you have your family system, you know your family values, and you are the best position to know what your rules are. But I'll share some of my rules with you. My first rule is, my child should not be in your bedroom at any point. Your room is your private, place. Your room is yours. For no reason should my child be in the room with you at any point. But that's mine. Not everybody, some people don't mind their helps and their kids sleeping in the same room. And that's why I said, customize it for your own self. My second point is, I don't allow helps watching adult movies around my kids. Even we, the parents, we do not watch, regular adult movies around our kids. So when our kids are there, we watch cartoons. We all watch cartoons. And even those cartoons, there are certain cartoons that are not even acceptable, because these days so many wrong messages are slipped into cartoons without us being aware about it. So I always tell them, please, this is a list of cartoons that I let my kids watch. Any cartoon outside this, please let me know first before you show my kids these things. Another thing I tell helps, please do not get my kids involved in your personal life, your personal phone calls, your personal text messages. So we got involved in a case where the help could not read very well or write very well. So she was telling this 7-year-old girl to be helping her write love messages. So she was just like, please help me write a message to my boyfriend, because she couldn't write very well. But this child was now writing, sensual love messages for, the nanny or the help. And at the end of the day, it started trickling down into the child's mind. So please state it clearly. Do not involve my child in your personal activities, your personal, whatever. Keep your own things to yourself. Let's maintain that healthy boundary. For me, I don't let helps bath my children. For me, it's an opportunity for me to bath them, to know if they're okay. Because during bath time, you can tell if your child has been abused. You can tell if there's something wrong. It's really a place where, I can bond with my child and I find out what happens in their day. So I do not let my helps to bath any child, because for me, it's also an opportunity to sexually abuse. But, that's mine. Another point is, please, I always tell helps, please don't listen to, adult music around my kids. Because a lot of times you go to houses, you're hearing a song that is so sexual, and maybe it's coming from the nanny's phone, or even the nanny might be playing it on TV. I always tell them, please, let's just do children cartoon, children music, everything. Once you're around the child, please let everything be child friendly. I don't want adult themed content anywhere near my kids. Another point is, you might tell the help and they might still default on this. Sometimes helps take your children's phones, tablets, and they maybe search on something on their own, or they watch a movie on their own. Please go through the history and delete them. If you notice that maybe they are very heavily adult themed, because we've had a case where a child stumbled upon pornography through the nanny watching porn on their tablet. and then they mistakenly hit on that site and they start seeing things. So please, as parents, if your nanny has access to your children's tablets or phones or devices, if they have that, please always check the history regularly so you delete any unwanted content there. So like I said, you can customize, these are, I'm just sharing my own personal ones with you. It might not work with you. You can come up with your own. Just make sure you let the child know that you're giving those rules, and the child is present when you're giving those rules. You don't have to state all the rules in front of your kids, but the ones that are related to your kids, state it there. This makes the help understand that your child is empowered. So for example, if a help came with the intention to abuse a child, you telling your help those rules in front of the child, the help already knows that, they've educated this child. If I do anything, this child will report me. Do you understand? So that way, and you're also empowering your child to know that, see, in our household, my children don't sit on anybody's lap, not even their uncle's lap. My children don't kiss anybody on their mouth. Please don't kiss my child on the face or on the mouth. When you do those things and say it in front of the child, and you tell your child, if I catch you sitting on anybody's lap or kissing anybody, I will spank you. Things like that, so that you're showing that help that your child has been empowered, and this is a family that has zero tolerance for abuse. So my third point is, please treat your helps well. So yeah, you give them the rules, you give them regulations. Please ensure that you are taking care of your helps, because they are somebody's child too. So let's not maltreat them, and let's not be rude or nasty to them. And if you're struggling with a particular help, maybe the help isn't someone that is doing their work as at when due, don't get angry and start maltreating the person. It's better to let the person go. It's better they go and you get somebody else. I know that might be difficult, but it's better than maltreating somebody's child. So our final point, please continue to reaffirm, some of these instructions. And most importantly, encourage your children to talk to you. So in fact, when you go to work, I personally don't leave my children unsupervised with the help, with nanny, whoever, with any domestic help. If you're going to even drop your kids with the help, ensure that it's with somebody that is trusted. So for example, if I'm going out, I'll rather drop my help and my kids with either my in-laws or my parents, so that there is another form of supervision going on. I usually wouldn't recommend your kids just being with the help for a long period of time. So the most important thing is your child being able to come to you, to talk to you. And please, when you go to work and you come back, ask how their day was. Ask specific questions. Don't just hear, how was your day? Fine. And you move on from there. Encourage your children to share, things that happen with them during the day, so that if any abuse occurs, they can inform you and you can work on it immediately. So I hope this helps.